I'm somebody who's committed to movement, and I would say the styles that encapsulated the hip hop community a lot, whether that was breaking, popping, locking, and then how it evolved through choreography, through into events and dance and freestyling. With dance, it is either communication or storytelling. Do not give up, no matter how rare or how unseen you think you are. There is an action of valuing other people and other life.
Super excited to introduce you guys to Kofi. Kofi is a creative that we've been really keen to have down since we started doing this. He's an amazing choreographer, dancer, movement archivist, all-round creative guy, and we're going to have a really good discussion, man.
For having me, thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Pleasure.
Like it called welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome with the fireplace.
I'm so grateful.
Yeah. Tell us a bit about yourself, your journey, and
Wow. Okay. Okay. So I dabble in a few things. I'm mainly a somebody who's committed to movement, and I would say the styles that encapsulated the hip hop community a lot, whether that was breaking, popping, locking, and then how it evolved through choreography, through into events and dance and freestyling. So I've been consistently on that, but I've also added a few martial arts in dips or dabbles, and on top of that, and my exploits with Charlie over the years with the Eats Everything last year, and oh god, that was an amazing advert, amazing video, by the way.
Thanks,
really grateful for that. I've added with circus as well. So I was a choreographer for a circus performance show called Ancient Futures. That was the name of it, basically. So it basically was multi-skilled circus performers that not necessarily had a grounded traditional skill, but also had elements of other skills that they can add on top of their circus to incorporate. So me and my Agro stick with my Caribbean understanding of movement, as well as my hip hop and breaking skills.
It's like, because I feel like describing you as like a dancer, for instance, kind of undersells you, because you're kind of plugged into, how they interline like across different cultures. You're quite well versed and well read on the art of dance and also kind of martial arts. Where do you think the line draws between the two? Like,
why you do it. I think with dance, it is either communication or storytelling. And with martial arts, it is on top of discipline, but there is a action of valuing other people and other life, whether that's in defense or in communication of said practice. I started moving because I went into the movement career not because of fame, but because of a friend that is not with us anymore, basically. So my understanding of, life and not life is just straight cut. I don't play with that. So now in my art forms, it's the same thing. Hence why I have that kind of understanding in the seriousness as well as the gradient of the two styles or the two cultures, I would say. So
crazy.
And then, so when you were first starting out, what was the kind of your first attraction or your first style or genre that you like?
Whoa! So this is gonna be an interesting one. I started in Little Ilford Youth Centre.
Nice.
At that time, I didn't really have much male friends, and my mum was like, okay, you've been in trouble a bit too much. Now just either stay home or go somewhere. And go somewhere where you're
Go somewhere I can keep an eye on you or
or do something. So I went to the youth centre, and there was the basketball clique. They were playing the b-ball in their area. Then there was the pool table, and certain people playing with the pool table. And I was like, oh, pool. Okay, I'm going to remember that. And then I heard R&B. And I was like, where's the music? It came from upstairs, and I was like, wait, is that kind of stuff? So I ran up all excited now, and there was this beautiful woman just walking, and I'm there listening to the music, like jamming, and 2 minutes into it, I'm still realizing that she's just walking.
Right.
Yeah, just walking.
like,
Just doing that. Just walking in this
okay.
indoor use center. I'm like,
Yeah.
why is she doing that? But why am I still watching this?
Yeah.
So it turned out she literally caught eyes of me and walked up to me, and basically she was practicing because she was the modeling teacher, and she specialized in male and female steps of walking, and she was there to teach the kids of Newham in different youth centers, different modeling techniques. So in Newham at the time of the youth centers, they didn't just have the sports; they had dance, they had modeling, they had acting, and each people that was a youth worker from the African Caribbean community at the time were making their rounds during those years, bringing those projects up. And I just so happened to stumble on the last 2 years of that grace of performance art. So a few months later, taking in my modeling steps, trying to learn how to pose. I learned poses. I learned the difference between male and female step procedures and hip placements. So I learned about the body from modeling.
Wow, that's interesting.
So when it came to camera work later on in the years, I was like, oh, how do you want me to look? Do you want to frame? You know, it kind of just knocks from one to the other. And eventually I met my first dance teacher from a community connected event, and that was Kenrick. No, not yet. Kenrick was his actual student. So I met my first teacher by being a student of, it was weird. My first teacher was eventually Kat, but I got taught by Kenrick first in a very short time frame. Then he said, if you really want to dance, find Kat. And I was like, okay, I remember that name. Lo and behold, the next year followed. I was doing a lot of shows in the Newham Parks area over the summertime, and Kat just so happened to be there. And from that moment, I was like, okay, where are you at? Followed him. And the rest is history. Wow.
That's interesting, man. It's interesting, like, hearing how it's like from community centers and kind of, just in general, in creative scenes, like how like building a infrastructure like of a community is so important. And like for you, is that something that you believe quite strongly in, or quite plugged into, like being a member of community?
I try to be. I am just seeing. What I find hard, I would say, is not necessarily the activity in the community. It's strongholding and protecting from other entities like the government or landowners that want to come and take from what you are building. It's more being aware of that within my community, because unfortunately, when you compare financial and career success in the world of the performing arts, dance is one of the lowest. Financially and also just on a longevity as well,
because it's a physical
as well as it's very hard to prove your financial worth with that skill without having the business behind it and the corporate behind it and the sponsors and the style and your body and
the marketing,
the sexual attraction, all of that.
Do you think that with like the sort of growth of social media, there's a way to combat that at all, or?
Yes, but it is coming around more so nowadays, with the spreading of more awareness of how to, I would say, career manage your own dance career or performance career with dance as an attribute. However, it's still very heavily outplayed by the instant calls on DMs and instant advertisement from agencies that are aware of the same thing. So, my first experience of that was the Jamelia audition. And I was the very shortest male dancer, but I was the most athletic. And again, you wouldn't get it as much because at the time, Jamelia's ethos of movement was more choreography based. So my journey commercially has been left and right, where I wasn't just a ensemble dancer. I had to be a speciality. But it was hard to find what that speciality was. It took a few years. And I'm not going to say how that went. Let's just say commercial, we'll leave it there. If you ever find out about that last commercial job I did, everything wasn't commercial job, by the way.
It doesn't count.
Doesn't count. Really doesn't count.
You should actually talk a little bit about Eats Everything because they've worked together on a project and
dopest video yet.
Yeah,
honestly, I think it's my favorite video.
About like because you choreographed the entire thing. You guys worked hand in hand. So tell us a little bit about the process and stuff. And
why me?
Oh man, I mean,
why me?
The reason why, because you had such a looking through your work, it was like a multifaceted character design already in your portfolio. Do you know what I mean? So like the video that we were doing is essentially, was it 6 different characters that are all inside Kofi's mind? So he's cleaning a hotel, and then he just starts going deeper and deeper down a rabbit hole into his own psyche, and it gets more and more surreal. And there's just there was different. Each character had a different dance style, had a different attitude, had a different like character design, and you just had such a from stuff with the Agro stick, which we should probably have a look at in a minute. But from the sort of hip hop inspired, like there was just a huge wide range. So it was great. It was seeing you on the day, just not just like tap into each character, but like become each character, if you know what I mean. It was great. You absolutely smashed it, man.
Oh man, thank you. Biggest.
Cool.
It was I think for me, so sorry, let me just backtrack on one thing. When I was in youth center, at the same time as training in the dance moves, I didn't know I would be needing for videos as big as that Everything Eats. I was in the same space as the future grime DJs and stars of now. So me and DJ Spyro. Same time frame.
Oh, really?
So that generation, the Kanos, the Gets, Gets came to my youth center to MC for the under 25 raves and the under 16 raves that happened there. His clique. Newham Generals, their whole clique. Nasty. Well, Big Nasty. They all used to come to my area to spit bars or to liaise or to be their younger versions. So when I said about the dance career and other genres in performing arts, you see where those mans are at, and dancers is still kind of a rarity. They're still like, who's a dancer in East London? But you know who a grime artist is in East London. You know the cliques, you know the history, and it's interesting. So I'm very much an advocate of connecting people to the London history of things as well. Whether that's the nightclub to the grime, or the grime to the dance to the battling. It doesn't matter, because we are still interconnected, and it's a lot hidden. But Everything Eats. Woo-hoo! That for me was a statement of do not give up, no matter how rare or how unseen you think you are. There wasn't, and there still isn't enough, I would say, work to highlight. There's so much going on for companies and groups and the stars that there isn't the watchdogs of the creative scene to kind of, oh, who's that? Who's this? Who's that? And if they are, they're not getting supported enough. And that's a major shout out to one of my good peeps, Ivan Blackstock, Ultraviolet. If you don't know about that, get to know about that. They've got that company has got a piece called Trap Lords, but they also do festival work as well. Cool. And the festival they run is called Cross Platform, which is multi-linked. So coming right back to Everything Eats, it's like there needs to be a lot more integration between the individual, unique, multi-skilled artists, but also understanding from the production companies that want to use said artists together. There needs to be a bigger conversation with that for sure.
Yeah, because it
helps.
We wanted to talk about, didn't we, like mentors and the importance. Like, what part of the theme of what we're going to be talking to everyone about is mentorship, the importance of having a mentor, the positive effect a mentor has had on yourself, and also a positive effect you've had on someone else as a mentor.
What it means to be a good mentor.
And like, what's your relationship with mentorship? Did you ever have someone when you were young who kind of inspired you?
Sorry. Yackle. I had cartoons, characterizations, and superhero stories to guide me.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's nice.
yeah, thank you. It was my mum. As soon as I moved into Newham for the first time, I think I couldn't have been no older than 13 at the time. 11, between 11 and 13, and in that time frame, my mum put me into different sports. So the first was taekwondo. All male teachers, all male camp, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. This is taekwondo. Yeah. Cool, done." Next was long distance running. This is the endless run. Okay, this is what it means to keep running. Okay, cool. And then after that, she got me a Saturday school teacher that specialized in math. But it turned out through just my own assumption and just questioning. Okay, so tell me what type of guy this looks like when you see him. About 6 foot, shaved hair, really comfortable fit, but tight. With it. But he's the nicest sounding person, and he's only there to speak math to you. Yeah, and he only sees you maybe every 3 to 4 weeks or a couple of months.
Right.
And my mum never really knew where he was from. I still to this day think he's special forces. I kid you not.
The espionage.
I kid you not. Because his body is like the Rock just walked in. And I'm looking at him going, there is no way you're just a math teacher. There is no way you're a math teacher. I'm going to learn from you.
Don't worry about
it. So as I've grown older, I tagged to other males that just had a energy about how they presented themselves, but never disrespected. And he was definitely one of those males that I tagged.
My first like mentor in life was a math teacher as well. I'd say my math teacher.
Yeah, I think my mentors came in the form of presence more so than knowledge. Cat B, definitely in terms of presence. Cat B, who ended up doing the Lick Party and other comic acts with Richard Blackwood. Amazing mentor to many kids of the African Caribbean community, South London, East London, North London. It didn't matter. As well as doing the nighttime radio stuff, as well as teaching in the youth centres. No, levels. So Kenrick, again, he's still doing it to this day. Kenrick Sandy of Boy Blue. Almost, how many years now? 23 years. Wow. And that's just Boy Blue, not his career. You know, so there's a lot of men I can actually just go, boom. There are females as well. One that is not with us, Tanisha Bonnard, rest her soul. Probably the most hardworking female dancer I've ever seen. She did everything. A member of Zoo Nation Company, everything from commercial to battling related. It didn't matter for her. So it was. I feel very blessed to have witnessed a lot of hardworking people that are not with us or still with us now. And my thing is to actually not stop, to keep going as well. And I admired people that outlasted the industry's aging of you, the industry's classification of you. Because I got told at 21 that my career will finish by 25. And I was like,
mad.
Can I swear on this channel? No? Okay, cool.
Middle
finger, but it's not available.
So that's crazy though, to have that kind of, be told that as you're just entering in.
Not just that. You get judged on your sexuality, you get judged on your heightism, you get judged on colorism, classism. It gets checked all the way through. Again, the Jamelia audition for me was heightism.
Right.
Heightism is a thing in physical art. It's also a thing in acting.
Right.
Your favorite star, Jerry Halliwell, for instance, 5'0". I'm the best height for her to do backing dancing with. But how many other stars are of her? So the industry that we are kind of evolving out of very much put us all in a bracket that I fear helped us, but also hindered us more than it helped us.
For sure.
You know?
I find from our conversation today as well, it's all about your journey and how you've gone through where you are today as well. I really find you inspiring in a sense where I know you say you won't be a mentor, but from what I've learned as well is because you're always learning every day yourself. And you're just maneuvering your life even until you're 40 today, and it's still inspiring because I think, like you said, your peers, whether or not they're just learning 1 or 2 things, you're always constantly doing 2 or 3 things at one time, and I think that's really special. And I think as a creative too, I think as a dancer, as you said too, like it is maybe a very hard industry or something, an industry that is challenging per se. But you were telling me as well earlier that you were also trying to back to your stick again.
Shall I get it?
Yeah, get the
I think you
stick.
should definitely get the stick.
And get it.
We're getting the stick. We're getting the stick. Finally, it's about time. Jeez. Oh, okay. Yay! Hi,
Okay.
stick.
I'm gonna just put it in the middle here.
And I feel like
That
this
is so
stick
cool.
yeah, this stick is gonna kickstart
It's so
another new
fascinating.
journey for you.
It fully is.
Because,
It fully
like
is.
you're saying,
Yes.
with like, I feel like practice in general is so important to like keep different practices, because I feel like if you allow yourself to dedicate yourself to your practices, it creates different pathways for you to process what's going on. So it's
Exactly
like
that.
for you to be able to pick up something during a time of like COVID to like channel what you need to into doing something new. I feel like it's an important like mind and body release. You know what I mean?
Definitely is.
Super
Definitely
cool.
is. Yeah.
Wow. Well, you've taken us on quite a journey.
Yeah.
Ready to
Amazing
Yeah.
journey, I
Part
feel.
two. Part two.
Yeah, literally, man.
Oh, part 2 with a stick this time.
We've
You gotta-
literally-
see you perform with this.
I know.
I will be showing it.
It could happen. It could happen.
Where am I doing next?
Yeah, that was the next question.
Oh wow! Next week for Breaking Convention, I'm a representative for them and a liaise battle event.
Oh, nice.
With a collective in Lille, France.
Ah.
So next week I have to represent the UK for a specific event that is also going to be a double event in August.
Right, that's cool.
And then I take probably a month and a half hiatus. Potentially, I may be doing a commercial job with this.
Oh, cool.
But if I do,
TBC.
it'll be a meaningful one. It won't be just showing off. It'll be
It'll be-
with a second person that also is able to work the Agro stick, who's a good friend of mine called
Amazing.
Eric Nichols Mitchell. You should get to know him.
Cool.
Erickson, yeah, he's done Marvel stunt work. Really good
Amazing.
before me. Yeah, he's dope. But my grand finale for next year is actually choreographing for a carnival float in the actual Caribbean.
Wow.
So it hasn't been announced fully yet, but
Right.
it is definitely
Exclusive.
In the works.
Yeah.
So
Sick.
now this is linking me with my heritage, my Caribbean heritage,
Amazing.
and how do I work in carnival with stick or
Yeah.
the long sticks that they used to walk on. Still,
Right.
it's all gonna incorporate.
That was really cool.
So yeah, thank you.
Love it. Everything is aligning.
Amazing, man.
fully trying. And yeah, in between, I'm still working with two guys, Erickson and another guy called Adrian Falconer, and they basically are doing martial arts skills
Right.
as incorporating with dance, and we're researching how to. The same way I've kind of found this from lockdown, they're finding themselves from the lapse of the Hollywood industry.
Right.
So my future understanding of what I've been through is kind of helping them understand how can they use their fight knowledge in a choreographic way with telling new stories rather than what they've seen in the movie industry.
Right.
So yeah, it feels like it's a real skill gathering period,
That's
basically.
cool.
You know, I'm trying.
Exciting things ahead, man.
Yeah,
That's
Very
sick.
exciting things.
Fully trying.
Yeah, man. Smash it.
Thank you so much for coming and chatting with us today.
Thank you for
very
having
It's been
me.
so super.
Insightful too.
I feel like I've learned.
A dancer, so or per se everything that you do.
Yeah.
It's a learning curve for me. Today.
Fully
Yeah,
appreciate
you're
it.
honestly like you said, movement archivist is probably the perfect way
archivist.
to describe you, because you just got it all locked up in here. Really.
Try.
So cool. But yeah, thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Appreciate it.
I hope you
Thank you,
enjoyed.
Kofi, bro. Legend, man.
Bye.
Oh.